don't know my team, that's how it goes, man. Please don't mind me. It is as if my whole life I dream. Winning is all I do, I think. Magic tricks when I roll up my sleeves. What you talking about, sleep? I stay up and get things done. I be like, ready, get me some. You couldn't prevent me from taking the lead in this league. I got stripes and stripes, striking. Best not hide your eyes. I'll just a whole dynamite. Let it ignite inside and still be able to remind them why. It's Spud Kingdom. Spud Kingdom. Spud Kingdom. Spud Kingdom. Spud Kingdom. Spud Kingdom. Spud. Any day, any night on site. All right, let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Spud Kingdom podcast. I'm your host, as always, Woody, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. This means a lot to me that you guys tune in each and every week, and you continue to keep up with me on the socials and all that stuff. Really appreciate it. That means that you guys are liking the show, and I can continue doing this. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate it. Great weekend series this last weekend with Utah. We have some of the same usuals to get to, trivia. We're going to start off with that here in just a second. Standings, stats of the week, all that good stuff. We're going to have it all available here in just a moment. But let's kick it off with the trivia. So I hope you guys like the way I did trivia last week. I'm going to continue to do that. If you guys want to do it the old way, hit me up. But nobody's hitting me up yet. But hit me up if you want to do it the old way. If you like this way, hit me up. Let me know. So we're going to start off with some trivia. And the trivia question for this week is, who is the all-time leader in wins for goalies in the NHL? So we'll get to that answer towards the end of the show. With that being said, though, let's get to the action. Game one was Friday, March 7th, 2025 versus Utah Outliers at the Ackworth Center. First period would be a battle to start between the two teams offensively anyway. Outliers would get 10 shots on goal to start the game. Spud Kings would have 9. Spud Kings would start off the scoring at 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Liam Phillip would get his 6th goal on the year, and he was assisted by Will O'Donovan for his 13th and Bookie Warshaw for his 16th. I don't know if you guys watched the game or not, but man, was it driving me nuts when the announcer kept calling him Philippe. We all know that his name is Liam Phillip. I've interviewed him personally. I've talked to him. I always ask these guys what they preferred to be called. That way I don't get it wrong. So it kind of bugged me a little bit. I don't know how it felt about you guys. Also, keep calling us just Idaho. Like, throw the Falls in there, man. For Idaho Falls. Anyway, let's get back to the action. So, he was assisted on the play by Will O'Donovan for his 13th and Bookie Warshaw for his 16th, as I mentioned just a second ago. A couple minutes later, though, Utah would answer back at 5 minutes flat. Maxim Sagadiv would get his 8th goal of the year. Then 1 minute later, at 6 minutes and 8 seconds, Easy Easton Edwards, man, he gets his name in the pot. He gets his 25th of the year. He was assisted by Lucas Carlson for his 13th and Carter Davis for his 7th with the team. He keeps contributing each and every week. I really appreciate that kind of a pickup that we've had. All of these guys that we picked up in the trade deadline or free agency or whatever it's been have been huge contributors to the team. So props to you, Eric Hudson, for getting these guys up on the team and getting them to contribute and everything. Then Utah would get a power play opportunity at 8 minutes and 20 seconds due to a kneeing penalty. I've never seen this before, but I guess what happened is Bravery Esplin, he looked like he was going for a check on the opponent, and he stuck his knee out and ended up missing and ended up hitting one of our own guys. But they called him for kneeing because he missed the check and stuck his knee out. And even though it didn't hit the other guy, it still counts because he tipped it to do it. So they would capitalize, as in Utah would. At 10 minutes and 11 seconds, Sagadev would get another one for his 9th on the year. Spud Kings would not answer back. Instead, Utah would take the lead, and they would get another one. At 12 minutes and 19 seconds, Thad Seibert got his 9th on the year. This would be put Utah up 3-2, and the period would end 3-2. This would be the end of the scoring for the period. So it would end 3-2. It's not looking good at the moment. You know, we're down right now So hopefully period 2 can help us out a little bit. So period 2 wouldn't have much action, but the Spud Kings would take the they would tie it up. So Outliers got 8 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 13 shots on goal. The lone goal of the period would come at 8 minutes even when Andrew Schmidt would get his 29th on the year. And it was on a power play. And this would even things up at 3. Yeah. And the period would end that way as well. Because this would be the only goal for the period. There wasn't much action after this. It was basically just a back and forth goalie battle from here on out. So the next period, though, there would be no goals in the third, but there would be a lot of shots put up by Utah. So props to Charlie for stopping those. Spud Kings only got 2 shots. So Outliers got 15 shots on goal. The Spud Kings only got 2. So very disappointing as far as that's concerned. Easton Edwards would catch a 5-minute major for high sticking. And at 17 minutes, 27 seconds, this would affect overtime. So he got the penalty late in the period. There was no goals in the period, so the period ends 3-3, going into overtime, and they're going to start. Utah is going to start with an extra man due to the penalty. So OT wouldn't take long due to that. They started with an extra man, only 1 shot on goal from either team, and that's all that would matter. It would be all that was needed. That 50 seconds, Caleb Pittman gets his 20th on the year, and he ends the game 4-3 for Utah, and they pick up the win. We still get 1 point for the overtime loss, but man, was this a rough game to lose. It was a battle the whole entire game, and then that overtime period, they started with the extra man. I think that's what did us in, really, was that extra man there. Game 2, though, would be just as competitive, and it'd be the very next night. Be Saturday, March 8th, 2025, also at the Akron Center in Utah versus the Outliers. First period would be all the action, and then the goalies would take over from that point. It would be like goalie battle. These 2 guys were all-stars for a reason. The Outliers had 5 shots on goal in the first, and the Spud Kings had 6. Spud Kings would strike first, though, at 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Easton Edwards get his 26th on the year, and he was assisted by Andrew Schmidt for his 30th and DJ the Beast McLeish for his 24th. Exactly 7 minutes and 7 seconds later, Utah would answer on the power play. Then at 14 minutes and 14 seconds, Cole Mears would get his 8th goal of the year, and the period would end 1-1 and would stay that way for the rest of the game. Like I mentioned, this would be the battle of 2 all-star goalies. Both of these guys made the all-star game, and this game right here would show reason why. So second period, Outliers had 8 shots on goal, and the Spud Kings had 12. No goals, just save after save after save. The period would end 1-1. Not much action period as far as penalties or anything. So I didn't really write anything else down to notes. Third period, much of the same. Still a goalie battle. The Outliers would throw up 12 shots this time around, though, and the Spud Kings put up 9. No goals, just amazing goalies. That's all I can say. Just amazing goalies. Period would end 1-1. OT would be better for the Spud Kings on this night and be better in general. It almost took the entire 5 minutes. The Outliers had 3 shots on goal. Spud Kings had 6. And at 4 minutes and 2 seconds, Easton Edwards would end the game with his 27th goal of the year, and he was assisted by the Flying Finn, Jonathan Radikainen, for his 15th. It was the only assist on the goal, and it put the game away. It was an amazing goal by Easton. I'm going to put together a highlight reel. I'm going to show you guys here in just a second. I put together a highlight reel of him and some of Durkin's saves, because this was a goalie battle. I figured let's showcase the goalie a little bit. I showcase the hat tricks and stuff like that. Why not showcase the wall? So Spud Kings would win 2-1. Durkin stops 27 out of 28 shots for a .964 save percentage for his 27th win on the year. Like I said, I have some highlights from this, and I am going to show them actually right now. So one moment. Here are those highlights for you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Put some music together, put that all together for you guys. Got some compliments about the hat trick highlights from last week. So I figured maybe even though we were away, I'll just cancel out the voice of their announcer and I'll just put some music behind it and make it like a little frame for our guys. So with all that, the standings are the Spud Kings still in first place with 36 wins, 8 losses, and 3 overtime losses. That gives them 76 points on the year. They're 7 points above Ogden with the final push coming up starting tonight. We have a weird Wednesday game in the middle of the week. So that's going to be tonight. I'm doing this early for that reason. Wanted to get it out before the game started this week because then I'll have to cover 3 games next week. So, big game tonight. We'll see how this goes and shapes up. We're going to talk about those here in just a little bit. So, let's get to the stats. So, we'll start with the goalie stats. Durkin is back to number 1 in the NCDC for goals against average with a 1.93, and he's 5th in the NCDC with a 933 save percentage, and number 1 with 27 wins. So, give it up for the boy, man. Good job for you, Charlie. Scoring leaders, Easton, first on the team and second in the NCDC with 62 points. Schmidt, second on the team and 6th in the NCDC with 60. They're only a couple points behind. Edwards, first on the team with 35 assists and 8th in the NCDC. Schmidt is second with 30 assists and just outside of the top 20. I think 31 was where the number 20 landed, so he's right there. Schmidt first on the team with 29 goals and second in the NCDC, just behind Joss. Garrett Joss is number 1 right now. Edwards is second with 27 goals and tied for 6th in the NCDC. So with all that, the stats, the standings, the 2 games, I got 3 stars of the week to get to. My 3rd star of the week, there wasn't really much competition this week because it was kind of low scoring for the most part. I thought about throwing Charlie in there, but the first game, he went 1-on-1 on the weekend, even though his save percentage and everything was technically really good. I didn't want to throw him in there because there was a loss. So the 3rd star of the week, DJ the Beast McLeish. He had 2 assists on the weekend, helping us out to get the win on the second night. He assisted on the first Easton Edwards goal. My 2nd star was Andrew Schmidt. He had 1 goal and 1 assist on the weekend. So contributing like always, scoring in all shapes and facets for him. 1st star of the week with 3 goals on the weekend and the one that helped us win the game on Saturday, Easton Edwards. Man, this dude is just killing it right now. So I had to give big props to Easton. I had to make him my 1st star of the week. And hopefully he'll get player of the week. Speaking of which, last week's player of the week was not announced before I released the podcast because they did the player of the month and then the player of the week came out just a little bit later. But player of the week was last week. I was right. It was Grimaldi for 1, and Easton Edwards was also got the nod. So hopefully tomorrow, I'm hoping to see Easton Edwards on there again because, I mean, he put up 3 goals. I didn't really see anything too crazy from any other teams. I didn't see the Marshanock brothers like throw up double digits or anything like that this weekend. So therefore, I would have to say Easton has to be on there again this week. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I'll post it as soon as I find out, guys. So, trivia question answer. If you guys don't remember from earlier in the show, I asked, who is the NHL all-time leader in wins for goalies? And the answer is Martin Brodeur. Martin Brodeur is the answer. He had 600. I forgot to write it down, but it was over 600 and something wins. He surpassed Patrick Waugh, was the former. He had like 551, but he passed him way early because he ended up with like 600 and something wins when it was all said and done. So, answer the trivia, Martin Brodeur. Little bit of recap. Went 1-1 on the weekend versus Utah, still first place. My 3 stars of the week was DJ the Beast McLeish, Andrew Schmidt, and Easy Easton Edwards. Preview of tonight's game. We got Rock Springs. We're going to Rock Springs tonight, so you got to watch it on Flow Hockey TV. I'll be watching. I got a couple things to take care of, but I'll definitely be watching. I'll have this out hopefully an hour or so before the game starts. I got to go to physical therapy and stuff here in just a minute for my ankle, and I got class still too. So I'm going to get this out before the game starts, though. It'll be ready, so don't worry about that. And then Friday is the next game. We'll be back home. We're playing Pueblo. They'll come out and support the team. I might be able to go out to that one. I'm going to see how I feel here in just a little bit after physical therapy and everything. Then Saturday, we play Ogden in Ogden. So catch that one on Flow Hockey TV as well. Let's see if we can keep boosting this lead on Ogden. Let's continue our first place push. We got 3 big games this week, and it looks like we only have 5 total remaining on the season. So 3 out of those 5 games are this week. Then we got 2 next weekend, and then it's playoff, baby. Playoffs. So let's get out there. Let's cheer our boys on. Let's show them some love. I know some of you won't be able to travel to the games. Brian and his kid went out to the games last weekend. I saw them out there. That was really cool that they got to make it out. So if some of you get out there, hit me up. I'll look for you on TV. I'll give you guys a shout out too. Cheer on these boys, man. Flow Hockey TV for 2 of the games, and then we're here in town Friday night. So big games this week, though. All 3 of these teams are very big competitive teams for us. Rock Springs has beat us this year. And then Pueblo and Ogden are 2 of the top teams in the league. So let's get out there and support them, guys. And with that being said, I just want to thank you guys once again for tuning in. As always, this is the 18th episode. I can't believe we made it that far. A couple more, we're at 20. Playoff push, baby. Let's go. And as always, go Spud Kings.
K-I-N-G Kings, meaning we seen things, and without a cheat sheet, a walking beast, no wanting peace until I'm knee deep in the rewards I need to retrieve. Keep the receipt once I receive what I work for, but never relieve. Better watch out, if you don't move, get ready to fall down. If you don't root for my side, I'm not proud. Like what you talking about, I'll pop out, even if it's hard out. Somebody let the dogs out, like they're coming for the dog out before being brought out. Whoa, they might need to keep me locked out because I was stomping my stomping ground. So let's know this is Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. Any day, any night, on site, alright, let's go. Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. Any day, any night, on site, alright, let's go.